Hi, Mark here. Monday, December the 8th, just after 9:20 a.m. Eastern Time. US session well underway. It's 2:20 GMT, European afternoon portion of the European session underway. And let's have a look at the US dollar. I'm starting on the dollar index. Small green candlestick, US dollar certainly trying to fight its way back and show some strength as the US session is now underway. I've got support at 98.44 and I've got resistance at 98.65, sitting pretty close to Friday's close. If I zoom in on the hourly, there you can see US dollar did put in a bit of a run earlier in the European session, and now that the US session underway, looks like coming down off these resistance area, of this resistance level. Sellers of US dollar index will be looking down at the support level. Buyers, of course, will be looking up above to test and break above the 98.65 intraday resistance. Let's have a look at the majors, starting on the Euro US. Small green candlestick that's buying euro, selling US dollar, was higher before, was a full green candlestick. US dollar did fight back. You can see it left this wick behind and now hang around the support level. Support for now is 116.40 and I've got resistance at 116.73, sitting within this tight-ish range. If I zoom in on the hourly, there you can see sitting pretty flat last few hours during the European session. Buyers will be looking up at this resistance level, sellers looking below the 116.40 and sitting in the middle of that range for now. Let's have a look at the pound. Small green candlestick sitting pretty flat. I've got support at 133.12. I've got resistance at 133.45. That's a narrow range. Neither buyers nor sellers able to add on to so far to intraday moves. Buyers will be looking up at this resistance level above the 133.45 or higher. Sellers of pound, buyers of US looking below the 133.12 support area. US dollar against the yen. US did put in a bit of a run, coming down a little off that intraday resistance. I've got have got a higher high, higher low at this point. The trend is still down, but US dollar buyers are looking up at this resistance, intraday resistance being 155.65, looking to test break above that level. Sellers looking down at the below 155, so intraday support at 154.89. US dollars trying to fight their way back during the US session or at the start of the US session. I'm going to the US dollar Canadian. So we've seen the US dollar trying to fight back against, we saw in the index and against the European and majors and the US yen. Not the case with the US dollar Canadian. US dollar not fighting back. Second strong day of Canadian selling US, buying Canadian, following up from Friday's strong move lower. Today I've got intraday resistance at 138.36 and support at 138. So sellers testing that 138 level, tough level to break below. It's come a long way in the last 2 days, Friday and today, from 139.50 down to 138, already 150 points. We'll see if buyers of US do step in here, if they're able to bounce up off this 138 and get back to, or at least test, this intraday resistance at 138.36. So US dollar is trying to fight its way back against the majors and on the index. At this point, not yet against the Canadian, but we do have support and resistance levels to work with, and I'll see you at the end of the day. Good trading.